When I first met him, he was working as a street interventionist. I mean, he was a priest, but he would go into the street and try to get the rival gangs to stop shooting at each other. He helped with truces and peace treaties, and he began to see that this was not the answer.
Jobs were the answer.
Jobs were the answer, and that is where it began, and then it morphed into this bakery and silk screening. And then I spent time at the original Homeboy headquarters on First Street, which was this true funky little storefront with everybody from Sheriff Lee Baca to the meanest, baddest gang members running in and out the door. And it was wild. And I fell in love with it and said, this place needs to be studied, this place needs to be looked at, evaluated. And he and I had the first of what was an ongoing kind of a 3-year conversation about science and evaluation and research. Any studies of gang members that we have look at gang programs, and then they look at if the crime rate goes down. That doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you if that program is working. And the crime rate going down today doesn't mean anything about what that gang member or that former gang member is doing 5 years from now, when the crime rate may be up, down, astronomic, invisible, but that gang member may be on the way to, or living a life that is totally changed. Or that gang member may be in prison. We're looking to see what does this program in particular do over a lengthy time period, and what can we learn? I am partnering with an individual who is a colleague, but who I also consider one of the preeminent social science methodologists on campus, Dr. Todd Franke. He's a tenured professor in social welfare. He is also the associate director of the Center for Healthy Children, Families, and Communities right here on campus. And he is an evaluation genius. He'd be embarrassed if he heard me say this, but it's the truth. And he is the one that really looks at program evaluation. He is looking at numbers. He's the numbers cruncher. I'm the qualitative methodologist on this. It matters to UCLA at 2 levels. Number 1 is from the scientific level. We need to contribute to the fund of knowledge about programs, what works, what doesn't. We need to make recommendations on that basis, and we need to talk about programs that are successful going to scale. We need to familiarize people with the scientific measures that will help programs be better and help individuals who are at risk or in need. On top of that, we are UCLA in the community. And I think it's important that beyond having a presence, we lend our expertise to building capacity and enhancing these organizations where they help people everywhere. I listen to these stories, and I am doing these interviews and life histories that are taking hours. And what I realize is, if these children, if these young people had been born on the West Side, or in Encino, or in Palos Verdes, they would have grown up to be lawyers and accountants and anthropologists and professors. They're us. They're our children, and we need to understand that.